everyone. This is Jennifer Hill at Jennifer Hill Counseling. It's Halloween, and I am bringing to you today a few tips on how to deal with coping, unhealthy ways of coping, and healthy ways. It's a bit of what I shared in my video last Friday. If you haven't caught that video, you can either go onto my website at jenniferhillcounseling.com, or I have sent out newsletters that will be in your email for people who subscribe to my newsletters. So there's more details about these defense mechanisms. I suggest that you sign up so that you get my weekly videos every Friday. Okay, here it is. The first unhealthy defense mechanism is denial. I don't really have to get into it because most people know what denial is. It's a lack of acceptance, however, being aware of what you are doing and possibly hurting someone or even hurting yourself. Regression. Regression is when someone reverts back to an earlier stage of development. Often when we are angry, sometimes we're so angry that we feel like we're reverting to how we used to act when we were 8 or 12 into those moments of temper tantrums. And I'm pointing that out so that you can pay attention to when you are regressing and avoiding that. And in a moment I'll discuss how to change more mature defense mechanisms and integrate those into your life. The next one is acting out. Plain and simple, even adults do this, kids as well. When we are defending ourselves and coping, we act out in behaviors that are negative. The fourth one, dissociation. A lot of people refer to this as multiple personality disorder, and that is definitely an extreme version of dissociation. However, a mild form of dissociation would be the example of when you drive from point A to point B without even remembering the steps and how you got there because you are on autopilot. This happens to us all, it's totally normal, but when we are on autopilot, we dissociate. Sometimes we do that as well. When we are feeling we're coping, we try to dissociate from the situation. Next one, compartmentalization. This is an extremely hard word to say fast, and basically that is, I have all these thoughts and feelings and I am going to put them up here in my little container, my little box, and shut that container until I am able to deal with it. That's how we're coping. Those thoughts are still there. We still need to deal with it. Then the next one is projection. We all do this as well. We project our feelings and thoughts onto others. So this means that you assume that people think and feel just like you. And guess what? They don't. You can't read their mind. They have different experiences, different backgrounds, different knowledge than we have, and we can't assume and project. We can't assume if we are thinking about, for example, our spouse, we are worried that they're going to cheat or that they have thoughts about cheating, maybe because we have those thoughts and we are fearful that they think exactly like us, and a lot of times it's not true. So, intellectualization. So, don't have to get into this one. You know people who, when you're trying to have an emotional conversation, they revert everything to rationalizing and logic. And the last one is rationalization, which is a way that people tend to avoid feeling rejected. So they rationalize. They say, oh, well, this person probably, after going on one date with me, they had an issue. None of it was me. It was all them. Or, yeah, my parents, they are jerks, and it was never me, it's only them. So not really taking any accountability for our own actions and behaviors. So we are, as I said, going to integrate quickly the mature defense mechanisms that help both adults and children. The first one is sublimation, which is channeling unacceptable impulses, thoughts, and emotions into more acceptable ones. So we try to kind of alter them. And this is actually a mature defense because we're doing it in a healthy way. We're learning throughout the process, we're learning from our mistakes and trying not to do it again. We're also giving ourselves forgiveness and grace, right? And we should be doing that. We make mistakes, we're all human. The next one is compensation. This counterbalances between our weaknesses and our strengths. So that inner negative voice that I always talk about that's in our head playing constantly, fight against that by pointing out your weaknesses. Pointing out your strengths. Yes, it's easy to point out our own weaknesses and sometimes the weaknesses of others, but point out your strengths because that is what's going to help us overcome our weaknesses. And then the last one is assertiveness. So if you know anybody that's passive, that never speaks their mind, and you know somebody that's aggressive, that speaks their mind too much and never listens to you, assertiveness is in the middle. You are listening and sharing your feelings, and you're giving the other person the same amount of respect and equality in the conversation. So always stay tuned. Mondays, Mindfulness Mondays, and go to my website for all my blogs and my videos. Talk to you later.